We've started assembling our little piece by putting our leaves on, a couple little flower elements, and a few little bead stacks were started. Now don't worry about if you use hot glue, if you see that glue, because you can go back in there and paint over that with any color paint you like. And on top of that, I wanted to point out a little distressing that I did. I actually came in and put a little bit of gray paint around the edges of the canvas to create shadows, a little bit on the leaves and a little bit on one of my flower elements, which is going to be down on the bottom layer of my project. So I'm going to hot glue that on. You can't really see my hot glue gun too well from the angle because of my short cord. We're going to put some hot glue down, and be careful when you press your flowers down if you use hot glue or any glue, because they are delicate, because once again those petals are little pieces of polymer clay. Now if a petal breaks free, don't worry. Just take a little bit of glue, stick it right where it's supposed to go, and hold it there till the glue sets for a sec, especially if you're using hot glue. It's only a couple of seconds. And once it's on your canvas, you're set. So then we're going to put one more little element. These look like little water lilies almost amongst the a pond of aqua and periwinkle. So we're going to stick that little peachy double daisy against the leaf. And then I'm going to show you that we're going to put down a little bead stack base. Remember we painted those? Just put a little dollop of glue, stick the little base down, put a little dollop of glue on top of it, and then a bead. A little bit more glue on top of the bead, and another bead. And you can keep going and stacking those up, or you could just put a single bead element on right on the canvas, which is what I'm going to do here, because every bead element is another opportunity to raise up a Swarovski crystal where it can really catch light. So I'm going to put another bead base right here, toss that on there, hold it down for a sec, and then a little bit of glue on top, and I'm going to go a tiny bead element over here, bead stack. I'm going to go with all smaller beads, varying peach and green. And then I'm going to do a couple of individual beads off to the side. Like I said, it gives me more space for Swarovski crystals so that I can put plenty of sparkle on my piece. Now, I could stop with all of these elements and call this a done palette. Going back in and putting a little paint and glitter over my little glue strings, and or pulling off the little spider webs that end up in there, the ones we all love to hate so much. Or I could add other things at this point. So I could go in here and squish this little heart in if I wanted to make it stand out like so. Let's just say it's Valentine's Day or Mother's Day. Perfect place to put a little heart. You can stack it in right between the flowers. Because you have this textural build, right, that you've created, you can now have 3 dimensions for lots of different stuff. Make sure you paint the back. On here I did not paint the back, so I won't do that. You can do that with these little doodad elements. You can do that with your butterfly. So this butterfly that I have came on a wire. Wrap that around your finger to give it sort of a springy base. And so you can glue that springy base down in a little doodad dollop of glue and make it as tall as you want so it looks like it's hovering over the flowers if that's what you're looking for. And you can situate it any way you want after you get him glued in. And I think I'll go ahead and add him, but I'm going to add him at the end because I really want to put my crystals in there. So now that I have my piece together, I'm going to go ahead and put some crystals on there. We're going to go ahead and use these Aquamarine 12SS AB Swarovski crystals. That's what these are. And we're going to put one at the top of each of these and one inside the base of each flower. I'm not going to let you sit there and watch me fumble putting these crystals in here, but I will be right back and I'll show you how to do the last one. I'll go ahead and put them all in and I'll show you the tool I use to put them in when I get to the last couple. Okay, be back in a sec. So far I have a few crystals on there already, as you can see, and I use tacky glue or other jewelry based glues. This is not necessarily jewelry based glue, it's an all-purpose, but I use those for the crystal setting, never hot glue, because it just doesn't hold something that's based in glass or metal very well. So we have two more to do, and I'm going to show you my little handy dandy tool to put stones down with. I'm sure you've seen it before in another context, but it's a kneadable eraser. The kind that you need like so to clean up the edges, and if you're drawing or doing art, you use that to pick up graphite or whatever, and you knead the graphite back into the eraser. It's a kneadable rubber eraser. I just pull a little piece of that off. These are very inexpensive. And then I stick that on the end of a sharpened pencil or a little dowel. And that way you can shape that point to whatever shape or size you need to get to small and tight spaces and pick up your crystals. So basically you just go over here and tap that crystal and you can see it's not coming off until you want it to. Touch the glue and release. I'm going to put a couple in there. There we go. And then back up in here, and that way we can get right into the center of those flowers, right where we want the crystals to be, and not drop them all over the place. Fabulous tool, if for nothing else than just to learn to use that to set your Swarovski crystals or rhinestones with. Okay, so now we have all of our rhinestones on the flowers. I also put a little glitter over top of my white glue. It is going to dry clear, but then there'll be sparkles there too. So now time to put the little feather-based butterfly in here, and I have to decide how do I want him to go in. I think I want him to go in over here and be above the flowers that way. So what I got to do is put my hot glue down in there so that my wire will set in that. So that would be down in this little space, and then push the wire down in there and just let it dry in place for a couple seconds. You know how hot glue works. Get rid of the strings. And then you have that wire so that he's somewhat adjustable for where you want him to be, you know, go forward in the design. That's your little three-dimensional mixed media stretched canvas, and we have kits available to cover most of the elements that you'll find here. This little embellishment came from my craft closet. I don't have the feather butterflies in there, but in the future, if you find you really want those, just give me a holler in the comments and I'll start adding them to the kits. I don't know if we're going to add our Swarovski elements yet, but we probably are going to do that in the future. But in the meantime, give us feedback if you pick up one of these kits. Also, limited number. We're going to start out only offering 20 kits, so if you want to be one of the first to grab one or more of those 20 kits, I would go right away. Second to that, you can buy the cutters separately. We do have them in a blister pack. You can get, this is the sunflower. It comes with 3 cutters, large, as you can see that's pretty big, medium, and small. Remember, the kits come in medium and small, and if you just want the cutter, you can buy those separately sold in blister packs. We have the sunflower We have the daisy, which comes with 4 sizes, and we have the rose leaf cutter as well. So have a look, come see what the new stuff is at Baji Do. We'll see you again soon. Bye.